Hi guys and welcome to this review from 1000 PS. Today we are testing the, I think, most awesome naked bikes for beginners of the whole year. We do have the KTM 390, the Suzuki Gladius, the Kawasaki E6N and of course the newbie Yamaha MT7. So let's start with the KTM 390. You might suspect that this bike has 390 cubic centimeters, but you would be wrong, because it has 375 cubic centimeters. What we can say for sure is that it weighs 150 kilograms and it produces 44 brake horsepower. I think that's quite a lot for a 375 cubic centimeter one-cylinder engine. You might find that this is an uneven comparison because the KTM only has one cylinder and not that much replacement, but if you look at the price and the fun that you can have with this bike, it's not that uneven. The Duke is by far the lightest and also the cheapest one. The KTM has the hardest suspension and the hardest seat, but it really is a fun bike. And if you think the so-called Autobahn is for boring people and every straight line that is longer than 500 meters should be replaced by some corners, this is the bike for you. The low price of the KTM is possible because it is built in India. So now let's move on to the Suzuki Gladius. It has a 650 cubic centimeter V2 engine that produces 72 brake horsepower. The engine of the Gladius is the smoothest in this review. It really is perfect for beginners because it doesn't have any bad surprises. It just revs and you don't really have to worry about gear changes. The Gladius can handle it. The ride really is the softest in this review, but it depends on your riding style and maybe for beginners that's even not so bad. With a sitting position of 785 millimeters, it is the lowest bike. So it's easier to handle, especially for shorter people. But if you're a bit taller, the knee angle might get uncomfy. The styling isn't the freshest, but it still looks very nice. It's a bit rounder, but not really out of style. What in fact is out of style on this bike is the dash, as I think. But the color combination on our test bike looks really nice. And now the Kawasaki E6N. Its 650 cubic centimeter 2-cylinder inline engine produces 72 brake horsepower. It weighs about 206 kilograms with ABS. I do have to admit that I might not have the most objective opinion on this bike because I do own a ER6N for myself. But I don't have one fancy all new model like this one. I got an old used one because I'm a poor student who goes to college, and in our company you don't really get rich. The engine is quite nice to drive. You can cruise through the city in 6th gear, and the vibrations are really low on this one. It is though not that loud on lower revs, but as the revs are rising, the engine sounds better and louder and even better. The suspension could be harder, although it is harder than the one of the Gladius. I do like the styling of the Kawasaki R6N, especially the rear fork leg, because it's asymmetrically mounted and it just looks awesome. And now to our newcomer, the Yamaha MT7. It really tries to beat all of the rest, and it nearly does it in every category. It is the cheapest of the 2-cylinder bikes. It is the lightest of the 2-cylinder bikes. It has a weight of 182 kilograms. It's 2-cylinder engine. It's new built from Yamaha, and it produces a maximum power output of 75 brake horsepower. With all its sharp edges and applications, it does really look like an up-to-date naked bike. Although I have to admit that it might even look a bit like a man machine. With the Yamaha MT7, you get the most motorcycle that money can buy. MT in MT7 stands for Master Torque, and I really think that this name is truly earned, because you do feel the power at low revs and it rises and rises. You don't have this pitched power explosion on the top, but for beginners and the average driver, it's just perfect. the engine produces the nicest sound of all these bikes. And all in all, I think the MT7 has won the race. But I think I've already said enough, and you can now go and buy what the hell you want. Bye guys!